Hi guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Karen. Our channel is called Karen and Ryan. My husband Ryan is not going to be in this video because he's at work. And I had time to film today because it is a snow day and I am a substitute teacher. So I thought what better thing to do than to film this video. I have a lot of ideas for this channel. It's going to have a lot of variety and a lot of fun, and I hope you come on this journey. But right now I thought this was a good video to film, which is our TTC fertility journey so far. So basically, my husband and I got married August 2015. We knew we wanted kids. He comes from a family of 8 kids. I just have a sister. We knew we wanted children. We thought we would probably be pregnant by our first anniversary, and it didn't happen. We didn't start trying right away. About 6 months in, actually January 2016, we thought I might be pregnant, but it ended up not being that, and I'm not really going to call that a pregnancy scare. It was kind of took us off guard, but it ended up not being, and after that we were kind of really bummed, and we thought, hey, you know what, let's leave it up to God and see what happens. Well, so we waited about like 3 months, and it wasn't happening on our own without really trying. So then I said, well, you know what, I'm going to really start trying. I'm going to start tracking, and we're going to really get down into trying. Meanwhile, I'm having some really difficult periods. I would get nauseous, I would dry heave, I would throw up. I would get really bad cramps. I'd get extremely tired. I would get turned off by food. I mean, it sounds like somebody who is pregnant, but it wasn't. I was getting my very heavy, nasty period. So, you know, months would go by, and I would sit there and think, oh, why is it that I think I'm pregnant because I'm having these symptoms, and it ends up being just a really horrible period? Is this all in my head? Why am I throwing up? I mean, why is this period so heavy? What is going on? I did go to my doctor at one point about it because we thought maybe I had a chemical pregnancy, but that wasn't the case. And at that time, they set me up to see, this was back in October, and they set me up to go see a fertility specialist within the doctor's office that I go see. She said she thinks I might have endometriosis. So, meanwhile, while they're doing all these tests, they also found that when they would do an ultrasound on me, which I kind of had experience before when I had previous pelvic ultrasounds as a teenager for a cyst, that they had a hard time seeing the left ovary, but they always said, you know, once we got you in a certain position, we're able to see it. It's probably nothing. And so I never really thought much about it. But as we're going through all these tests, it became really difficult for them to see because it was actually sort of in an odd position. And I'm going to get to that when I talk about my surgery. But anyway, so they thought maybe I had endometriosis. And that really alarmed me, really scared me. I came home to Ryan and was bawling. I thought, we're not going to be that, have kids. We're going to be that couple that, you know, isn't able to have children. All those things, those fears that flush into you when you hear that you could have something that could prevent or make it difficult to have children. So after all of, I'm sorry if I talk with my hands a lot. I am half Italian, so I can't really help it. So basically, after talking to my doctor, she referred me to a surgeon, and working with her, they thought it was a good a good indication that I probably did have endometriosis. And a backstory, my mom actually had endometriosis. After having me, she was having some issues, went in and they did find it, and a few months later she gets pregnant with my sister. So it does run in my family. So after talking with the surgeon and the fertility doctor, they did check out Ryan just to make sure that everything was okay. They did some blood work on me to make sure that everything was okay on my end. During that time, I was diagnosed with a blood blood kind of disorder, but a gene thing where it's harder for, I'm more likely to clot, to get a blood clot, if my homocysteine level rises too high. That is all under control, but I had to go see a hematologist. So meanwhile of getting all this blood stuff done on Ryan, and all this blood tests done on me, all the stuff done on Ryan, and I had to go see a hematologist, and I might have endometriosis. So it was kind of a really, like, in your face, there's, you know, a lot going on that we weren't expecting. Also, I have interstitial cystitis, which goes hand in hand with endometriosis, which is a bladder condition. So it was kind of all together. And another funny thing, people who have food allergies are more likely to have endometriosis and interstitial cystitis, which is me. So all these things are coming into my face. It was a very, very scary time, and Ryan and I were just overwhelmed. So in November of this year, we scheduled my surgery. When they went in, they did find a small amount of endometriosis in 3 places. They also found a blockage, and they found that my left ovary and fallopian tube, not only were they in an odd position, but they were tilted back and up and pressing on my bowel. So the surgeon could not move it into the exact, like, where it would normally be, but they did loosen it to come down a little bit. And it should, you know, it still functions. It's fine. It's just that it made it a little harder for it to release an egg. So I'm probably more likely to get pregnant on my right ovary than my left, but it still does function, and now it will function better. So I went through the surgery. It was not a nice recovery at all. I was in a lot of pain for about 3 weeks, and the place where the blockage was also added to that pain. I think when the doctor had gone in and then talked to me after, he explained to me that this was a lot more complicated than he expected, instead of just having to remove some endometriosis, but I should be out fixed. So we are now at the 6-week mark after my surgery, and this is our first week able to baby dance, basically, and try to conceive, which worked out perfectly with my cycle. So this is our time to, our first month to try to conceive on our own. The doctor wants us to try to conceive on our own for 6 months. If I don't get pregnant, then it's back in talking to the fertility doctor. So this has kind of been our journey so far. I'm sorry if it was all over the place and hard to follow, but I thought I should share because YouTube is a great community. It has a lot of information about infertility, and I thought we can lift each other up and, you know, learn and hopefully get that beautiful baby blessing in the end. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and my next video I'm hoping to do a recipe video on how to take something that is probably something you thought, well, somebody with allergies couldn't eat, but I'm going to make it and use some substitutions and make it something wonderful. So I hope you enjoy, and I will talk to you soon. Bye-bye, guys.